guys, today I'm going to share some tips and advice on how to keep your hair really healthy and shiny, and also some things that you can do to make your hair grow faster. So let's get started. So the first thing is to avoid using shampoos that have sulfates in them. And sulfates is the worst thing for your hair. It's terrible. It strips your hair of all the oils, it dries out your scalp, and it just really dulls out your hair. And I have no idea why they even include sulfates in shampoos, because it's that bad. And I actually read a study a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to try to find the link and put it down below, that using sulfates in shampoos is the #1 reason for hair loss in women over 35. So you can avoid using sulfates in shampoos, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. And there's 2 shampoos that I use. The first one is the L'Oreal EverSleek shampoo. It says sulfate free, and it also says silicone free. And silicone is another ingredient that's not good for your hair because it can really weigh your hair down. And silicone is the ingredient in most conditioners that makes your hair feel softer. Have you ever felt silicone? Well, it's very, very soft. And when you put that onto your hair, it kind of like traps your hair, and it's not good for your hair. So this is a great, great option. They also have a conditioner in this, which is also sulfate free and silicone free. The next option, which is like my favorite of, I guess, like the whole summer that I was using it, is this Carol's Daughter Monoi oil shampoo. That's what it looks like, and as you can see, I've used it almost to the very end. No sulfates, no parabens, no petroleum, no mineral oil, and no artificial colors. And it smells really, really great. And Monoi oil is another ingredient that's amazing for hair. If you guys can afford it, this is like $18, so it is a little bit more expensive. And if not, you guys can always go for the drugstore option, which is only, I guess, like $6 or $7. I don't think it's much more than that. So these 2 shampoos are great. The second thing that is really important is to nourish your hair, and not only with conditioners but with hair oils. And there's a ton of different oils that are good for your hair. Some of the ones that I love to use are olive oil, you can use jojoba oil, and my favorite is the Moroccan oil, and it's also called argan oil. These are like 100% pure, and the ones that you guys can find at like Sephora, I think Josie Moran makes one, I think it's called Liquid Gold. Check the ingredients because most of those have alcohol in them, and alcohol is terrible for your hair. So you guys want to try to find like the purest form of the oil that you can. Usually online is where you can find things like that. Argan oil is really great for your hair because it's so moisturizing, but it's really thin, so it's not going to like weigh your hair down. And when I get out of the shower, I put a couple of drops of this into my palm. I do like this, and then I like squeeze it into my hair. Then on some days I will do like a hair mask just with olive oil, and I put olive oil all over my hair, and I will like watch a movie, or I'll do my homework, or I'll like do something for like 2 hours or 3 hours, and then I will go ahead and wash that out, and that's amazing, amazing, amazing for your hair. And also another oil that's great for your hair is almond oil. Oils are great for your hair because it helps the strands stay together so it doesn't break, and it also gives it a really nice shine. Okay, another thing that I see people do all the time, which is seriously like nails on a blackboard for me, is when people brush their hair when it's wet. It's like the worst thing that you can do. Or when you brush your hair in the shower with your conditioner in it. When hair is wet, it's at its most fragile state. You do not want to brush your hair when it's wet because it will break off. When you do get out of the shower, try to leave it to like air dry for a little bit before you brush it. And when you do brush it, try to use a comb that's like this, or something that's like thicker like that. And this will prevent the hair from breaking, and it won't cause as much damage to your hair. Now, speaking of brushes, there's a couple of brushes that you want to avoid. And this is my old brush, and this is like death for my hair. It's a paddle brush, but this paddle brush is so old, and I don't know if you guys can tell that some of these things are broken off and they're like kind of sharp. This is not good for your hair because this will break your hair. Instead, try using a Boar bristle brush. A Boar bristle brush looks like this. These are so gentle on your hair, but they will still brush your hair really nicely, and they will not cause as much damage to your hair, and it'll leave your hair really, really shiny. This is a Mason Pearson brush. These are like the Rolls Royce of brushes. I do not recommend that everyone gets these because this one is really old. I've had this one for a couple of years. They are very, very expensive. You guys can find cheaper ones, much cheaper ones, for the same type of brush and quality and everything. I also have this brush, which is basically the same as this one, but it's new. And the balls on here are pretty round, which means that it's not going to cut into the hair. Make sure that you're not using like a really old damaged brush because that's just not good for your hair. Okay, moving on. To make your hair sort of grow faster, it's important to stimulate the hair follicle. When you stimulate the hair follicle, more blood goes to that follicle or to that cell, which makes it work faster. One thing that you can do is to massage your scalp. And you can do this when you're in the shower, you can do this when you're sitting watching a movie or whatever. All you need to do really is just take your fingertips, and not your nails but your fingertips, and just gently massage your head like this, really trying to get stimulation to the hair follicles. Another thing that I like to do is just to take my Boar bristle brush and flip my head like in my bath, just brush my hair upside down, because this will bring all the oils from the scalp into the rest of the hair, which makes it shiny. So that's a great idea, and you can definitely start to tell that your hair follicles start to tingle and start to feel warm, and that means that they're really, really working. So try to do that. But then again, don't do it like too much. Like I suggest doing it like every other day or something. So I take 3 types of vitamins a day, and the first one is a multivitamin, kind of self-explanatory. The next thing that I take is omega-369 oils. Basically, it's fish oils. The fish oils are great for you. They are great for your skin and for your hair. Makes it shiny. And the third thing that I take is biotin. And biotin, I explained in a few videos ago what it is, but basically it's a vitamin that you can take for your hair and for your nails and for your skin. So I take those 3 and I see really good results with them, so I do recommend that you guys give those a try. Do some research on them before. And yeah, one thing though that I do want to say about multivitamins, you don't need to take too much of them because your body knows when it has enough. So, for example, with the biotin, I only take 500 mgs, is that what it's called? I don't know, 500 whatever of it. Some people like to take like 1,000, 1,500, even 2,000. To me, personally, that does not work because your body will just get rid of all the excess. So just take a little bit, like don't go overboard. Don't think that just because you take like 5 multivitamins that you're going to be like, ooh, crazy, like, you know, whatever. No, that's not going to happen. Your body's just going to feel a little bit nauseous and then pee it out. So take your limits. Don't take like, you know, too much. So that's some of the advice that I have. Please leave your questions down below and I will try to answer them the best that I can. Overall, just take care of your hair. Don't use too much heat. Baby your hair. Like, give it so much nourishment. Care for it because hair makes like the biggest difference in a person, and it sucks when your hair is like dry and stuff. And yeah. Okay, so I hope this video helped some of you guys, and hope that I gave you some tips and some useful information. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Mwah.